Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. I hope you're doing well today. I have a book review, actually two, that I have to record tonight. I might not upload both tonight, but I'm going to try to get them up for you guys. This is a review, as well as the next one will be, for a series that I haven't reviewed in a long time. It's Goosebumps Presents TV book, number 13 in this case, Ghost Beach. This is essentially, for anybody who doesn't know what the Goosebumps Presents TV books are, these are not just the original novels from R.L. Stine, basically adapted with a new cover. It isn't really anything like that. Essentially, if you don't know anything about these books, they are novelizations of the scripts of the episodes. So basically, you're reading the episode instead of watching the episode, which a lot of the time the episodes, even as adaptations of the original novels from Stine, could be fairly different. This one is actually adapted by Carol Ellis from the teleplay by Jeffrey Cohen, based on the novel by R.L. Stine. Again, I'm not really a big fan of the covers of these old TV books. Not all of them look that solid, you know? It's gonna be an interesting thing when I have to rank these for the cover ranking video for the TV books. Anyway, where do I even start with this? I love the original Ghost Beach novel. If you know anything about me, if you've seen my ranking just recently of the original Goosebumps series, all classic 62 books. I'm really bad about trying to say that phrase. If you've seen my recent video about that, where I rank all of those original books, Ghost Beach ranks fairly high for me. I love it. I love the cover of the original book. I adore it. It's a great, fantastic book, and if you're a big fan of urban legends, it's one of those books like Ghost Camp, You Can't Scare Me, even kind of Not a Living Dummy, that stands out so much for me and my kind of personal interests in horror, and again, urban legends. If you're a big fan of that kind of thing, this book is kind of for you, but mainly the original novel, the Ghost Beach book from the original Goosebumps series. It's fantastic. And when I found out that from John Tron himself here on YouTube, who I always mention when I talk about this particular episode, he did a video here on YouTube, John Tron himself, about Goosebumps, and one of the things he mentioned was Ghost Beach, and I had never read the book, never seen the episode until I saw his video about that particular episode, which is really 3 episodes he's covering. I think one is My Hairiest Adventure, and another one is something else. I don't remember what it was. Check out his videos, though. It's a 2-parter. John Tron really covered something that really spooked me a lot. And after I read the Ghost Beach book, which I think I saw the episode on DVD that my grandmother had gotten me years ago, before I actually read the book, because I had heard the book sucked, I watched the episode, really liked the kind of atmosphere to it, the creepiness to it, some of the kind of goofy, silly effects from back in the day, but I think it held up enough where it really interested me and made me want to read the book, being an urban legend fan and hearing some of that online from people who did like the book. Anyway, I fell in love with Ghost Beach. I think it's a phenomenal book. It's one of my very high-ranking books in my ranking of the original series, or just in Goosebumps overall. I haven't done the big video of everything yet, but so far it's a big one up there for me. I really love it. I think it's a fantastic read, and if you haven't read that original book, you really owe it to yourself to read it. It's really good. Give it a chance. Don't trust the community to tell you what's good and what's bad. Don't follow that garbage. Anyway, the original book is fantastic. Really, really high rated for me, once again. The episode itself, I really dig too. But what would a novelization of just the episode that has some very short, small changes from the original book, what would that be like? And this novelization kind of answers that. It's about 60 pages long. It includes some color photos, which mostly look solid. Most of the time I worry about those color photos in there because I kind of worry about how much it's going to spoil the later parts of the book when it's usually placed about halfway through the story. Of course, a lot of the original episodes based on the old original books are about 20 minutes long. Unless they're a 2-parter, then they're kind of 40, 45 minutes long. The next review I'm about to do will cover a little bit of that too, because it feels like a longer book in some respects. This particular one being 60 pages long, it flies by. It absolutely zooms by. You can read this book in like an hour. It's so short. I mean, look at this. Look at how short these books are compared to a regular old Goosebumps book. These are so thin. I just divided my face in half with that. I just noticed. You're welcome. That's spoilers from the picture thing from the book. It isn't too bad, but it's enough to be like, why? Why'd you do that? And even the best parts of the episode that this thing is taking pictures from to put in here as stills, even those aren't great. Let's get to the actual plot, though. Ghost Beach, what is this book about? Essentially, you have a brother and sister who are going to stay with some elderly cousins that were old-looking when their dad was a kid and used to stay with them. They live by a beach, and the beach itself happens to have a big old cave nearby. that has some light shining inside of it every once in a while. And the rumor from two other kids they meet in the city or in the beachish area, the town, whatever you want to call it, village, I don't know what you call it. These other two kids even happen to possibly have the same last name as them, which is Sadler. And they have an urban legend out there that that cave with the light inside is actually a ghost that haunts that cave, and that you shouldn't go up there to see him or to visit him because he will kill you and eat you or whatever. And there's some weird things the kids found on the beach too that may possibly point to this possible rumor being true. It is a creepy book. This particular book itself is better than a lot of Goosebumps Presents books. I've read quite a few, maybe 8, 6, somewhere in that ballpark at this current point. I think as of the next video I record after this and upload after this, it'll be about 8 that I've read in total, which is almost roughly half of the Goosebumps Presents. There's only about 20 of these books. They didn't last long. Essentially, this book itself kind of maintains the atmosphere, kind of like the Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns TV book I also reviewed. Sometimes these books can be okay, sometimes they're just okay and decent. There are certain ones I haven't read yet, like My Hairiest Adventure, which I have no excitement to read at all, because the book was bad, the episode was bad. I don't want to touch the book novelization of that episode, because it's going to be bad too, I just feel it. But the ones that I was excited for, like, Night of the Living Dummy 2, Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns, those kind of vary on the degrees of how good they are. This one is very solid for what it is. And when I say very solid, I don't mean like a great read. I don't really mean anything impressive or really, really great. Nothing like that. It was just fine. And for a Ghost Beach adaptation, which me being a big Ghost Beach fan, I'm going to like it more than a lot of other people will. Since most of the community seem not to love Ghost Beach, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're going to love it. Now, I think there's a big chance you might love the original book if you take the time out to read it and stop listening to everybody on the planet who says it sucks. But this particular book, even though I like the atmosphere of it, the mystery, I almost said mystery, like a very French weird way of putting it. I like the mystery of that story. I like the atmosphere contained here. And even for a shortened version of the original book, down to 60 pages instead of 120, 130 page tale like it typically is at that time back in the day for the old books, this one, even being shorter, is good for what it is. I like it a lot. I recommend it a lot. It's kind of one of the easier Goosebumps Presents TV books to find. A lot of the TV books have become very difficult to get for a reasonable price, some ranging all the way into the $300 range. Some being larger than that on the sums they want on eBay and whatnot. So it's kind of a pain in the tail to get a pretty decent collection for the TV books. But I do recommend getting them if you're a collector. If you're not really missing out on much unless you're a big TV episode fan from the old show. But this episode, or this novelization, whatever it is fairly fine. I like it. I think it's good. I like it better than the next one I'm about to review, which I will put up again in a minute after this video. But for the most part, this is good. I wish that, again, the pictures put in the middle of the book, halfway through the story, I wish they had not ruined some parts of the later part of this book. It actually spoiled one really good, creepy scene towards the end of the original novel and towards the end of this story. But anyway, when it comes to Goosebumps Presents TV book number 13, I guess it's actually titled R.L. Stine Goosebumps Presents TV book number 13, even though he didn't write it. Ghost Beach, if I had to rate this book with a very bland cover on a 5-star basis, I would probably give it about a 3 out of 5 stars. It's not the greatest novelization ever, not the greatest Goosebumps Presents TV book ever, but it's good. It's one of the higher range ones for me personally, out of my interest, the kind of things I like. And I think the episode is a little bit better than what this novelization is. It's kind of hard to capture the charm and the atmosphere and the music and whatever of the original Goosebumps show when you do something like this, where you're novelizing the original episodes. It's kind of hard to maintain that magic, even if it's a shortened version of the episodes that are shortened versions of the old novels. I know it's very complicated to keep bringing all that up, but I think you guys get what I mean. 3 out of 5 stars for me. Solid read. Really recommend it, especially if you're a big Ghost Beach fan. And that's all I have to say about it. What did you guys think about Goosebumps Presents TV book number 13? By the way, one of the things I love about this too is that even though, what is her name again? Carol Ellis manages to write it the way R.L. Stine writes his books. It feels like Stine wrote this, even though it clearly is not him, according to the front there. So I just thought I'd mention that as well. 3 out of 5 stars. What do you guys think about it? If you've read this one, put your thoughts and comments down below. What do you love more? This novelization, the episode it's based on, or the original Goosebumps book that it's based on? I'd love to hear what you have to say down below too. And I've reviewed all of those things, the episode, this novel now, and the original novel on the channel. So check out all that as well, guys. If this happens to be the first time you've ever come across my videos and you like ghost speech, that's a great thing. Anyway, thank you for watching once again. God bless you guys, and goodbye.